Welcome to our deep dive into one of the most controversial military plans in US history, Operation Northwoods. Today, we'll uncover the shocking details of the US's plans to deceive the Cubans and provoke a conflict with Cuba. The US military, in their infinite wisdom, actually considered staging fake attacks on their own bases. You see, it's all about optics. You can't just waltz into another country waving your guns around willy-nilly. You need a reason, a justification, preferably one that tugs at the heartstrings. And what's more heartstring tuggy than a good old-fashioned attack on home soil? The plan involved using friendly forces to simulate enemy attacks, complete with explosions, casualties, the whole 9 yards. I mean, we've all seen enough action movies to know how this goes. But this wasn't a Michael Bay film. This was a plan being seriously considered by the people with their fingers on the button. And if you thought faking an attack on a military base was bad, hold on to your hats because it gets worse. Picture this: a US ship sailing peacefully in Guantanamo Bay, when suddenly, boom, it's hit by an explosion, sinking beneath the waves, taking American lives with it. A tragedy, right? Except, not really, because that explosion totally staged. Another false flag operation designed to make Cuba look like the aggressor, because nothing says let's go to war like a good old-fashioned maritime disaster, preferably one you caused yourself. The plan was to blame it on Cuba, obviously, and then sit back and watch the outrage unfold. Chapter 3. Hijinks in the skies, but not the fun kind. You know, when you're brainstorming ways to start a war based on lies, you might as well go all out. And folks, they did. Some bright spark in the US government thought, hey, remember those planes we've got? The ones full of innocent people just trying to get from A to B. Let's hijack a few and make it look like Cuba did it. Because nothing says international incident like holding a plane full of civilians hostage. I mean, sure, it's morally reprehensible and would terrify millions. But hey, at least they'd get to blame Cuba for it, right?
Mayday, we are under attack by what appears to be a Cuban-made aircraft. I repeat, that's a Cuban aircraft.
Or Miami, fun in the sun, and also maybe some fake terrorist attacks. As if we hadn't already plumbed the depths of morally questionable military strategies, someone, somewhere thought, you know what Miami needs? A good old-fashioned terror campaign. But not a real one. Of course, that would be terrible. No, this terror campaign would be a carefully orchestrated production, complete with fake bombings, staged acts of violence, and enough chaos to make even the most jaded Floridian say, okay, that's a bit much. And who would they pin this whole charade on? You guessed it, Cuba. Chapter 5. Alternative facts, now a proud American tradition. Look, if you're going to manufacture a war, you're going to need some receipts, and by receipts I mean fabricated evidence. The US government planned to create fake documents, plant false intelligence, basically anything to make it look like Cuba was a clear and present danger to the United States. Think forged letters from Cuban officials, doctored photographs, maybe even a fake Cuban passport or two. It was all designed to paint a picture of a dangerous, hostile Cuba that needed to be dealt with, preferably with extreme prejudice. Outro Operation Northwoods. So crazy. It almost makes sense. These plans, though never executed, reveal the lengths to which the US was willing to go to provoke a conflict with Cuba. It's a chilling reminder that even in a democracy, even with all the supposed checks and balances, things can go very, very wrong. But hey, at least they didn't go through with it, right? So next time you hear someone say, the government would never lie to us, just remember Operation Northwoods. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.